in Ukraine. So one of the interesting components, I was there recently as well to talk to senior Ukrainian leadership, is the proliferation of autonomous systems. I mean, in that case, it's largely an air-land war, although the Ukrainians have done marvelous things to the Russian Navy without the Ukrainians having a Navy. But when it comes to autonomous systems, whether it's UAVs, USVs, UUVs, how are you thinking about the future, and when it comes to the capabilities the Navy is going to need, how do you think about that moving forward?
I think there are many examples from Ukraine. You know, really the innovation on the battlefield, and one of the things I try to inspire in our people is, hey, how do we innovate before the battle? And those are things that we need to think pretty hard about. I think the things I would say that we've really learned from Ukraine is the value of sea denial. And as you look at one of the evolutionary things from, I had America's Warfighting Navy, I built the NAV plan on the many successes of NAV Plan 2022 that Admiral Gilday put in place. And he had a large number of, again, specific areas that we were going to focus on and move forward as a Navy. And they are moving also with purpose and urgency. And then I took my 7 and moved on. But we added one to that based on what we're seeing in Ukraine, which is the importance of having sea denial capability, because that's really what you're talking about there. But one of the targets I have in my Project 33 is really to be able to operationalize and integrate robotic and autonomous systems in the Navy in all of the domains that you mentioned. I think that is one of the ones, they're all 7 are equally important, but that one has the most promise and the most opportunity. If you look at all the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years in Task Force 59, with cooperating with partners over there for large-scale maritime domain awareness, also injecting some lethal capability in there, being an entirely unmanned platforms to be able to get some lethality in there, as well as maritime domain awareness. Then you go down to 4th Fleet in South America, where they actually have some unmanned surface vehicles that are on patrol, actually reporting back and monitoring different types of activity there. Then you look in the 3rd to 7th Fleet in the Indo-Pacific, how we're able to navigate unmanned surface vessels all the way from San Diego to Guam to Australia and back. A lot of learning is going on in that space. So my goal is to really now, how do we take everything that we're learning through experimentation and exercises and really operationalize that into our standard formations, put them into our certification exercises, get our people used to operating alongside unmanned or autonomous platforms. And then as a CNO, whose job it is to man, train, equip for our Title 10 mission, I know that I need to provide the infrastructure, I need to provide the people, I need to provide the training to be able to man, train, equip, and sustain those systems so they don't become orphans that nobody owns. That ownership, stewardship is important. So earlier this year, I also created a robotics rating. We know that we're going to need to have people that are able to be skilled in this area. We've got a pilot program going on right now up at Carnegie Mellon, sort of learn from the best of what our universities are doing now to develop our own training program and having that skill set going forward. So I think we're learning a lot there from Ukraine that's really spurred a lot of really urgent work to get that more integrated into our operational forces.
Yeah, I think